as he did choose to drop his flashlight, plunging him into complete and total darkness. Which brings us to the light switch. Folks, we can experience kind of a bit about what Tom would have been experiencing, kind of find his energy whirlpool, if that's all good today. And the bats? No bats, sorry.
What?
Yeah, we're all good with that today, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I will ask you to turn off anything that emits light, phones, flashlights, cover anything glow in the dark, please. Also, I recommend not moving around too much. The cave wall does come quite quickly in the darkness. We learned that one the hard way. But with that, in 3, 2, just over there. And then turn around and go home. And this bit just past that railing lies underneath the water table, meaning it just naturally wants to flood. However, in 1965, Tom did invest in 2 sub pumps, which allow us to continue on. That should be good there. Like right up until the 90s there, he did pass it. And this was kind of brought up by the new Chris today. And I know I gave the answer away a bit earlier to some folks, so I'm gonna ask again. Don't cheat, please. Would anybody like to take a guess just how deep we are?
Oh.
Yes.
100 feet in the ground.
Very close.
150.
Not quite. The other direction.
125.
Nope, not quite.
90.
Nope, not quite.
80.
Did I hear 90?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We are 90 feet under the ground right now. We're about 21 meters. Which might feel a bit odd, as it doesn't feel like we walked down 90 feet. We've only taken a couple flights of stairs. However, it's because we've been cheating. As we've been going down, the hill above us has been going up. Nevertheless, there is 90 feet of pure stone between us and the surface right now. And if that's off-putting to anybody, I don't believe it in the slightest. It was quite frankly terrifying to me the first time I heard it. However, I can assure you we are very safe down here. For one, we have this kind of natural limestone bridge. It's about as thin as natural limestone can possibly get. But we do have these 2 kind of bands that match up perfectly with bands along the other side. Meaning if there was really a shift in the cave walls at any point during their 12,000 year existence, that would have collapsed in. Those wouldn't have matched up anymore. That's not quite enough evidence, however. I would like to add to the record a story from a couple of years ago. When a pretty big earthquake had hit the area, there's a tour down here when it hit. And the tour guides back in the booth were kind of freaking out a bit, as it cannot be fun to have a tour in a cave during an earthquake. However, when the tour guide from underground got back and was greeted by questions like, "Are you okay? Is everyone okay? Is anybody trapped? Do you need any help?" His response was, "What are you talking about?" The group down here had no clue that an earthquake had even hit the area. Really meaning if there's any kind of dangerous situation going on, chances are you're gonna find me down here. Yeah. With that, are there any questions before we do move on? No, perfect. All right. So tell us in the back there, please. So maybe this will be able to fill up a bit of this kind of space in front here.
Okay.
Yep. There you go. Yeah, maybe shift down a little bit too as well. Gotta go more than one up the stairs. Yeah, that should be good there. I think. No, okay. Some of you guys maybe shift it a little bit there, Paul. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Perfect. There we go. You guys see at the back there? Alright. So, you may feel possibly betrayed to, lied to. It's just seconds ago I told you how safe we were. Now, all of this. However, you don't need to worry, because we do have our government-approved safety stick.
I feel so much better.
This is the only thing holding back all the rocks. Meaning if I were to move even an inch, all this would possibly come crashing down. Meaning we do have one rule of the caves, to never touch the stick. I'm sorry. Yeah. Alright, I'm sorry, I lied. The stick isn't actually holding up all the rocks. They're actually being partially held up by the wall here. But they're also kind of wedged together in this terrifying puzzle. However, I can assure you we are actually very safe, as this would have been the site of a cave-in around 1,000 years ago. And the rocks haven't moved even an inch since then. These would have been originally kind of a pillar attaching from the roof all the way down to the floor. However, the water from here on out starts to go uphill. Water, quite famously, hates to do that, meaning it would have needed to build up pressure. And it did that with the cave's third and final whirlpool. This same whirlpool very slowly eroded away at the bottom of the pillar, eventually causing it to not be able to support its own weight and collapse in on itself. Now there is one more story I'd like to tell about this room. And it dates back to 1965. Tom first thought he wanted to pump at the case. He hires 2 people to kind of come in and put in the pumps. And he goes on a 2-week-long vacation. He comes back 2 weeks later to realize absolutely nothing's changed. The water level is still the same that it always was. Tom really can't take tours down here, so quite confused and probably pretty angry, as it cannot be cheap to put pump into the lower section of the cave. Tom hires 2 divers to come down and kind of check out what's going on. And these divers would have come down and realized the pumps are working perfectly fine. However, after following the pipeline for a bit, they do notice quite a big section of it is gone. And left behind are some teeth marks. Would anybody like to take a guess at which Canadian animal might have made the teeth marks?
Shark.
Shark? Not quite.
A bear.
A bear? Not quite. Yep. Not quite. Good guesses.
A goose.
Nope, not quite.
Bear fishes for their
A mouse? Nope, not quite. Starts with a B.
Beaver.
It was a beaver. Yeah, exactly. More specifically, a family of beavers that, for one, thought, right here, perfect place to make their home. And also thought, why go all the way outside, just up the steps there, get good lumber, when there's perfectly good PVC pipe right at their disposal. So there is kind of 2 alternate endings to the story. Number 1, Tom comes down here himself and says, Mr. and Mrs. Beaver, you guys have a lovely home and an even better family. However, I'd really, really love to take tours down here. So if you could please just pack up and move down the river, I'd highly appreciate it. And the Beavers, being very reasonable folks, said, okay, Tom. And they packed their bags and moved down the river.
It's not how
The other kind of alternate ending may or may not involve a new fur coat. So with that, I'm going to get you guys to go up the stairs. And just around the corner is kind of a better view of the cave from above. I'm going to join up somewhere in the middle. Back through the cave to just kind of make sure, everything's set for the next route. Safety sticks up, stuff like that. However, I would like to leave you with a bit of a decision and a bit of a quest. You see, when you exit this door, there's going to be a staircase, and at the top of it, a path. Once you follow the path for a bit, you will find a fork in the road. If you find it, please pick it up and bring it back to me. I need to eat my lunch today. I'm not sorry about that joke. I had to get in one more bad joke. There was no way I could resist. There will be a fork in the road, however. And you'll have the decision to go left or right. The right path is the more direct route. It's right back to the parking lot. 5-10 minutes, maybe at most. However, if you do have 10-15 minutes extra, I'd highly recommend the left path. as it is kind of a much more beautiful scenic route, and it brings you right by the sinkhole that Tom would have first jumped into. Now, with that, I'd like to thank you all for being such a great group today. You guys were honestly awesome. And I'll free you from my bad jokes and horrible sense of humor. If you haven't gotten a chance to check out the cave in from above, it's just around the corner here. You still got